March 18th, Mike Tyson, Razor Ruddock dies. If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Box Talk. This is the video that should never be filmed because for some reason we filmed it. This is the third time and there's always some sort of problem.
Yes.
So we are rehashing it again.
Yes.
This is the third edition.
Yes.
Which you have not seen.
Yes.
Of Badou Jack versus George Groves.
Second edition was bloody good as well.
Yeah.
Not bragging. Second edition was bloody good. First edition weren't great.
Yeah. This is round 3.
Right.
So let's try and make it a good one.
Yes.
Badou Jack, George Groves.
Yes.
A fight we didn't expect to happen. Let's be honest. Going into the fight, we all thought that Darrell was going to beat Badou Jack.
Yeah.
I think that was a general consensus by most boxing fans that Badou Jack was not up to scratch.
Yeah.
But let's be fair. If you like the performance or if you don't like the performance of Badou Jack, he done what a boxer's supposed to do. He went in there, saw Darrell didn't have a plan B, and he capitalized and won. In all honesty, that's all you could ask from a fighter. Yeah. But does that warrant him legit standing as a super middleweight champion?
Yes, it does. I mean, whether or not it was a one-off performance, whether or not it was a one-off victory, he beat the man that was considered, you know, touching that top 5 status in Anthony Darrell, who just put a beating on Sakio Bika. Yeah. Sakio Bika flat-footed regardless, put a beating on him, and everyone was like, George Groves and Anthony Darrell's a very, very tough fight, especially because George Groves has looked ropey since the Carl Froch knockout. So he's thinking, well, you know, and Anthony Darrell first of all said he's not travelling. Yeah. So he thought George Groves was going to have to travel to, which would have been at the time, a small arena, dingy, not bringing many fans, tough fight. Now it's almost jackpot. You get to fight Badou Jack, no disrespect,
it's easier opponent.
You're on the biggest pay-per-view, well, not of the year, but
second biggest pay-per-view of the year,
of Mayweather, and you're probably getting a bit more money.
Yeah.
And not that George Groves needs his profile building, but in the States he does. You can't get a bigger profile than fighting on the chief undercard of Mayweather. Yeah. So, you know, George Groves probably looks at it and thinking, yes, I might have wanted to fight in June or July or even August, but regardless, it's a win-win situation for me now, if he can take it.
Yeah, if he can take it. And that's the big if. George Groves, okay, the George Groves we grew up on, saw a guy that was a good boxer, had that old amateur beef with James DeGale, but didn't seem to push article, seemed kind of rough. And we watched him develop from more of a puncher into a boxer puncher, into a top 10 contender.
Oh, 100%. And
he proved himself in the Carl Froch fights. Regardless if he got knocked out in the 8th round with one of the best knockouts of the year, regardless what you say, how he went down, he proved that he was earned his position. Yeah. But then something happened after the Carl Froch fight. He no longer looked the same fighter he was previously in his fights with Rebrassi and Mama's boy. Yeah. He looked ropey.
Yeah. That's an understatement. There was 2 things that could have happened with that Carl Froch performance. You get knocked out and you take a year out of the ring. No one would have said anything. You gather yourself, you go and do a bit of sparring behind closed doors and see where you are. Or you do what George Groves does, which is come back very quickly and trying to get the cobwebs off. I think he made the mistake. That comeback against Rebrassi didn't look great at all. To the point where I thought at any stage Rebrassi lands one, it's gone here. And then he came back very quickly on the, I think it was the Bellew Nathan Glebley card, just to kind of fill the holes in the card. And again, didn't look great. He's now had a long time off. We know he sparred GGG. He's gone into that camp. He's got away.
He's gone to the firing zone.
He's gone into the firing, exactly. GGG, he's gone into the firing zone. Do you know what I mean? And it's this fight really is all about how has George Groves recovered after the Carl Froch knockout. A lot of people say, you know, Carl Froch has clearly said that, you know, I've ruined his career. Carl Froch thinks George Groves is done.
It's also a proven point for Badou Jack. Let's not forget, it wasn't too long ago that Badou Jack got knocked out in 1 round. I can't remember what the guy's name.
Derek Edwards.
And there you go. And I've never been a fan of Badou Jack. Badou Jack to me seems like a talented boxer in terms of he got the fundamentals right. But he doesn't look very athletic. He doesn't look very creative. He looks a little bit stiff. He looks a little ponderous. He's big at the weight, massive. But in all Badou Jack's fights, I never thought, I said, that's a contender. That's a great fighter. All I saw of him was Badou Jack is part of the Mayweather camp. I never thought anything much of him. And when he lost to Derek Edwards, I thought, bubble was blown.
And when he got that disputed draw against Paraban. It was fringe.
So, you know, again, look at James DeGale done to Paraban.
Yes.
Was it a 3 round?
I think 3 or 4 round blowout,
The point I'm making is that me personally would never sold on Badou Jack. But then as much as I would not sold on Badou Jack, like I always say, this is boxing. You've got to be fair to what you see. I never thought that he had a chance in hell with Anthony Durrell.
Yeah.
But that dog came out with a very one-dimensional game plan. I'm gonna bang this guy out and get an easy knockout.
Yeah.
Badou Jack saw that and adapted. That's a fighter.
Yes.
And I'm trying to say, Badou Jack said, guess what? You want to go for a knockout, I'm going to use my jab, keep my range, keep my side, and punish you when you come in. That's a fighter. So you've got to look at the attributes that he brought into the ring, and you have to give him a little bit of credit. Even if the performance wasn't the best performance, or you weren't proud of the performance, you got to say, guess what? He done what he done.
Yeah. He's the one that of all of them, and this is including Ishe Smith, Jay Leon Love, Ashley Theobane. He's the one that's almost trying to say, I'm stepping clear.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my own thing and stepping clear. I'm not trying to be in the shadow of Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. I'm trying to do my own thing. And I think you mentioned on the previous video we done, winning the world title adds 10 to 15% more to you.
I was about to say that.
You know what I mean? And I thought you look at him and he looks like a guy now. I'm watching him, even in his interviews. You know what the funny thing is? George Groves at the press conference says something like, he stood up and done his thing, went to the press table and he said, yeah, I'm going to win this fight. It wasn't the same confident George Groves. And Badou Jack whispered, but the microphone picked it up. He said, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And that's a guy now that's super confident. Do you know what I mean?
Written him off.
Yeah.
I proved you wrong.
Yes.
I've done this. I'm now going down the record books as a world champion. You cannot take that away from me. And if you think you're going to be a flyby in the night and you're going to come beat me in Vegas on my promoter's card of the year, you got another thing coming.
And it's a legit belt.
Yeah, it is a legit belt.
It's a legit belt. You've got a lot of world champions out there that are circling for the, if you like, the lesser world champion.
Yeah.
Anthony Durrell ain't no bum. He beat Anthony Durrell, and like you said, Anthony Durrell was supposed to blow him away. Good thing for George Groves here is, this shouldn't faze him. We talk about the biggest card of the year, or the second biggest card of the year. This is George Groves that fought in front of 80,000 at Wembley. Yeah. When he was 21, 22, fought James DeGale, 20,000 in the O2.
Yeah.
He's been the big nice. This shouldn't scare him. Like I said, for me, it's all about, has he recovered from that knockout? And the George Groves that I've seen twice after the knockout, sorry, he hasn't recovered from that KO.
When you've been into the big stage already, the broadcast don't impress you. The press don't impress you. The hype doesn't impress you. George Groves has seen that, like you said, at Wembley Stadium. For Badou Jack, this is a huge step up from getting knocked out by Derek Edwards on a card that no one remembers. Yeah. This for Badou Jack, it's not just a world title defense, it's a coming out party for him. To say, look, I'm the super middleweight champion of the world, Carl Froch is retired, Andre Ward's kind of in limbo still, let's be honest. I could make a name for myself as like, I'm the marquee guy. As much as building all the confidence, a lot of fighters fail at the bright lights. It is too much.
I can't lie to you, I'm extremely split. I'm going to tell you guys something. On the video we done prior to this one, Ryan asked me my predictions and I said, you know what? I think Badou Jack's going to take it.
Yes, you did.
As we stand here now, that was like 3-4 days ago. Right now, as we stand, I'm so split on who wins this fight. Not because, like Anthony Durrell, Andre versus James, I thought both were amazing. I just don't know how that 10-15% is taking Badou Jack up here, and how much George Groves has fallen from that knockout. You know, prior to that knockout, George Groves beats Badou Jack every day of the week. Now I'm like, I don't know. I'm not trying to say I want to see George Groves cuss and swear and do everything that he does. But I remember when it was the James DeGale build-up, he was going back and forth with him. Carl Froch, he got under Carl Froch's skin. You kind of felt like, where's this come from? This build-up's been a bit more laboured and relaxed.
More reserved.
Like, maybe he doesn't know Badou Jack, so you can't have that kind of relationship. But I don't know if I'm seeing a fired-up George Groves that is super confident, like he was against DeGale, like he was against Paul Smith, even like he was against Glenn Johnson. I'm not sure I'm seeing that George Groves.
I'll pick the totally opposite.
Go on.
I think we've got the quiet confidence.
Oh, okay.
The guy that inside of his heart of hearts, see, guess what? Carl Froch is a Hall of Famer. Carl Froch is one of the best super middleweights, not of our generation, top 5 or maybe top 10 of all time. I pushed him to the wire twice. The first fight, they robbed me. I could hang. That's what he's thinking. He's thinking, Badou Jack, I'm not going to underestimate you because I saw what happened when Durrell underestimated you, but I've seen you stopped. Yeah? I could punch. I think I'm a better athlete than you. I think I'm faster than you.
Do you think he's a better athlete?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm faster than you.
He's definitely faster.
Yeah. Joe God looks at what? Guess what? I beat James DeGale. James DeGale right now is a champion as well. Everyone's talking about how this and that and how blah blah, how great Durrell was and how great James DeGale was. I beat him. So you got to look at all the other elements around it. And I'm trying to say, whereas for me, for George Groves, this is a accumulation of everything.
This is accumulation of all the experience, the wins, the losses, the big stage, all comes to that. I don't know how old he is. I'm guessing he's about 27, 28.
Yeah, most probably.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing as well. When Badou Jack got knocked out, he was knocked out. I'm not saying Darius is not a puncher, but he was knocked out by, you know, a good punch.
He was knocked out by a guy that's not in the top 20.
When George Groves got knocked out,
he
got knocked out by one of the best overhand right hands and a blind shot as well. Remember, it was a blind shot as well. That was thrown of the year. It was a great punch. Yeah. So you got knocked out by a great punch. It's most, even Front said it's the best punch I ever threw in my life. It's one of the best punches someone's ever thrown in their life against the guy that got knocked out by the guy that just caught you.
Yeah, but the opposite argument for that is Badou Jack will say, I've clearly recovered from my knockout. My performance is a lot better.
Yeah,
I clearly am world champion.
Yeah.
Have you, George Groves, recovered from your knockout? That's the question we need to ask.
Very good point.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you're saying, but sometimes you got to take it from both. What we need to see from George Groves to win this fight, we need to see a bit of the George Groves we saw against James DeGale, which was disciplined, stuck to a complete game plan. I don't know if Adam Booth is that tactician in the corner. We can't see the all guns blazing against Carl. I don't think we can see that. We need to see a bit of both, and I feel like if he can do that, we've got to win. If he can't, he might struggle.
George Groves is a better fighter now than when he fought James DeGale.
100%, yes.
But style-wise, he fought better against James DeGale.
Then he's fought.
And the reason why, with Carl Froch, he kind of held his ground and kind of wanted to win Carl Froch to get into a tear-up. With James DeGale, he kind of shuffled around the ring a lot. He moved a lot. He split his punch and moved away, started side to side. He never gave James DeGale a chance to set the pace or set his feet. That constant movement will spoil someone's rhythm like Badou Jack. If you keep that type of style, but also incorporate the heavier shots, I'm going for George Groves to win by knockout late.
Alright. Boy. I kid you not, I am all over the place. Alright, I'm going for I've got to go for a Badou Jack win. I can't change my opinion here. I've got to go for a Badou Jack win. And it's just because I don't think he has recovered from that knockout. If George Groves winning this fight, then it's all set for James DeGale rematch, and it is huge. IBF WBC unification fight. Winner fights Andre Ward at catchweight. But Badou Jack can just spoil the party, and I have a sneaky feeling he does spoil the party. Not because I don't rate George Groves, I rate him extremely highly. I just feel like he might not have got over that punch. But what do you think? Who wins? Badou Jack, George Groves, September 12th, undercard of Mayweather versus Berto. This will steal the show, this fight. I really do believe it. Tell us what you think though. Email us, subscribe, tweet, Instagram, all the usual. And thanks for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Cheers.